This is a transmission for the women on this journey, on this path. Most likely, if you're watching this, there's some sort of resonance, or we had a similar life story. Baby, sit down. It's when he's eating popcorn. It's like, child, I do know CPR, and I don't want to have to use it. God wants us to be happy, and I feel it in my womb. It's just like, if you grew up with a father that would say all the right things, but couldn't lead it up with action, it's like there's no way to describe that pain, because it's just like there's just always that part of me that was just like, you literally could have just not said anything, and that we wouldn't have had to go through this. But it's like you just have to keep working through it and letting it go. And because then I attracted all of that over and over and over and over again with men. Love bombing is a love spell in my book. That you're gonna keep yourself in confusion and delusion and mental turmoil doing that, because I don't even know exactly what the backfire is for that, but it's just dumb. It's just not worth it. Because God is so merciful. To me, men there should be a point in time where men are just not allowed to do this stuff anymore. In my mind, because I don't even try to flirt with guys anymore. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I've never done this type of stuff, but it's like the more and more you're with God, I'm trying to stay and mind my own business and stay in my own lane. Why are there still people coming at me? But anyway, regardless. God will show you through action, because yes, I put that out there about wanting to feel wanting people to be sweet to each other, but then that being reflected back to me, I always give it back to source. That just makes it just, and I want that for everybody. I want it to be but that it's being shown to me that it's there's so much of just learning to be to yourself and be okay with that. My journey, my particular type of energy is more of this anomaly, and there's a few other women out here that I see that are like this, and it's there's something in it that's particular to the way that your journey kind of played out. But it's very Nine of Pentacles. You're going to inspire the right people, and God is going to have this sort of protective arm around you. And that's why it's just trusting in the journey and the process. Because I think back, I'm there were so many days of just sadness and just depression, just mild grade depression, and I do regret not getting support sooner and not opening my heart sooner to God and hearing him more. But it's it is what it is. But it's that's my point, is that it's you start to see how it was God was still protecting us every single day. The more that you can emotionally detach from fear, you realize that it's just these are literally just they're stories. It's just as crazy, because when you feel that trigger, it's visceral. You feel it in your body, so you feel it has power over you. And you need to move through it, and you need to hold yourself through it and love yourself through it. Whatever helps you to feel safe again. But it's crazy once you detach more and more emotionally from it, it's it just feels like this ghost energy. It's it's just this energy that's floating around out there, but you don't have to entertain it at all. Because I'm going to end it here, is it's I remember one time I was dating this guy, and my dad had told me, we were living together at that point. I was living with my dad, and I was dating this guy that I really liked, and I still think he's a cool dude. It just didn't work out. But anyway, my dad was like, I just want you to be, like, the next day he was like, I just want you to be happy, and like something along those lines or whatever. And it was like, that was what I grew. And at this point I had already seen, you know, I knew all the patterns and stuff, but it was like, it was still nice to hear that. And yet God had to show me that it was like, that's wrong. It's like, he's like, men are the builders. Like, men are supposed to help you build your vision. Like, that's their job, not their only job, y'all. I'm not trying to minimize anybody's role, because, and the fact that, like, most of the things that have been built in this world were with masculine energy. So it's profound. It's amazing. But it's like, so many of us didn't grow up with knowing anything about what the different roles were, or like, you know, like, you know, what's in it. That's the other crazy thing, is it's like what we were seeing, what we saw, and what we were fed, is most of it was not natural. And so that's what you come back to, is it's like, oh, okay, this is actually how it's supposed to be. And that, like, we know a lot of these things already, but we don't communicate it. And that's like, it's a big problem. It's like, that's a huge part of it, is learning how to communicate so that we can love each other properly and stuff. So, I just want to say that for the women, because it's like, you'll start to see how it's like, there's so much of this, like, you're already doing an amazing job. You're already creating all of these things, and God will be there every step of the way. And like, the more that you open to him, the more that he'll be able to show you that he's the man in your life. Like, I look at it like that. So it's like, a lot of people think of God as a woman, and it's genderless. So it's like, but I think for me as a woman, it's like, when I think of like creation, I think of like a man and a woman creating together. I think of that as like co-creation. So, but it's truly you as the creatrix in your life. So you can view, you know, this source energy as whatever gender you want to. But it's this partner that's always there, but we just have to keep opening ourselves up to it and trusting it. And then it also is guiding you and showing you how it's supposed to, like, how it's meant to be, that you don't like settle for something that is less than. And then that's just a part of it, because it's like, there's so much of that's like, people will just want to ride your wave. And it's like, no, honey, this amusement park is $1 million. Like, no, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be $1 million. I'm just being sassy. But it's like, you know, you have to keep like sticking to yourself, because it's like every time you turn around the corner, there's another person trying to like hop in your chariot. And it's like, nah, bro, like, you didn't get a ticket for this ride. Did you talk to God about it? Okay, no, bye. Love y'all.